Hello, I'm Andy, and this program is all about moles, whether it's a black mole, M-O-L-E, or a red mole, and if it is on a certain line or near a certain line, it brings very bad influence on that line. Now, if you look at the diagram in front of you, I've drawn in black a line that starts or ends basically under the middle finger. The middle finger is called the finger of Saturn. And so this line is called the line of Saturn. It has a lot to do with your progress in job, in life, personal life, in health as well. It's a pretty strong, powerful line. Every hand more or less have it, but I've seen a few palms who don't have it. And that's difficult to explain why, except that perhaps they just don't do very well because this line is also called the line of progress in any area of your life. Now, the length of the line is very important, and the length of the line normally suggests whether a distinguished career starts very early or whether if it's a short line more on the upper palm and closer to the middle finger, then it might show that the chances of early start in life are not very good, and the opportunities come much later in life, usually in the 40s, and that's where the progress becomes extremely good. And I've seen people with very short lines of Saturn who end the last 15 years of their lives doing some fantastic things. Now, the state of the line is very important. Is the line strong? Is it sharp, meaning it's not wide and very weak that way? Has it got breaks? Is it wavy? All these things are very important. It's of course nice to see a line as straight as an arrow. And if you have such a nice, beautiful line, then you will have a distinguished career and the possibility to be having a distinguished business as well. Now, there can be breaks, there can be islands, or there can be waviness that weakens normally a line. Now, every planet has a place on the palm, and many lines are named after planets. So this particular line you're looking at drawn in black, I've drawn a black dot and I've drawn a red dot. A red dot is normally called a fever mole, has a lot to do with health. Whereas the black dot can also have to do with health, but also in financial areas, whether in marriage areas, whether in general happiness areas, and whether in health areas. So moles mean a lot when they attack a line like this and have the mole right on the line. If they're close to the line, it's bad enough. To have it right on the line, that's a pretty bad thing to see. Now, many zodiac signs or planets are associated to this line. And so you will have a lot of influence from three planets. From the planet Saturn, from the planet Venus, and from the planet Mercury if you have a line of Saturn. And these lines will have, these planets will help you or trouble you at different ages. So I'm going to talk to you about the ages which can, if you have a mole on the line or near the line, can affect you. And I'm going to talk about zodiac signs. So if you happen to be born in Aries, or in Taurus, or in Cancer, or in Leo, or in Sagittarius, or in Pisces, then having a mole on the line of Saturn, whether a red or white or black mole, is a very bad sign. And whether in areas of health or finances or in the love life or family life, there can be a pretty much trouble for you. Now, the only way to know at what age would be to make a horoscope with me one day. I will talk about that later, and I will tell you how to go about doing it. Now we will talk about health areas. Now, in my experience, these zodiac signs which I've just mentioned, and if there has a mole near or on the line of Saturn, I find that firstly the lungs are going to give a lot of trouble. After that, the knees, and after that, the skin, which can go to eczema, and the eyes can become astigmatic, and the gallbladder can also have problems. So these are the particular areas. Of course, there will be others which I can only talk about if I do a full horoscope for you. But for this program, these areas which I've mentioned, you've got to go and check up if there's a mole that is seen on or near your line of Saturn. Accidents are possible. And these accidents, when you see the moles on the line of Saturn, are never when you are young. They are always towards when you are old. Old in Kabbalistic astrology starts from 52 age onwards, very early. So perhaps people didn't live very long at that time. But as you grow older, a mole seen there, which means a mole closer to your middle finger on the line of Saturn, you have to be careful that accidents can then happen. So be a little bit alert about that. Well, I look forward to one day getting a horoscope and palmistry session with you done. It's going to cost you USD 50 for a 90-minute session, and during that 90 minutes I'm going to talk to you about your next 5 or 6 years in all areas of your life. And so go to Skype or go to Facebook, send me a message or send me an email, and let's get down to getting this next 5 or 6 years of your life to be told to you, and so that you can be prepared for the good or sometimes for the little bad that I may be talking about, to warn you and give you early detection for. I look forward to meeting you one day, and if you have a mole near or on your line of Saturn, you have to tell yourself that at some time in your life, some tragedy or some big headache in some area of life is going to bring a real big hurdle for you. Until then, thank you and good luck.